Shall we start? I cannot hear. Navin, were you saying something? I couldn't hear you, but it might be me.
No, I can't hear Naveen either.
Oh, okay, cool. In the meantime, please add your name to the meeting notes. I think it's only the 4 of us, so it's probably going to be quick. I don't see any agenda items.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Michael. Let me try to share my screen. Michael, we were saying that there is no agenda items, so not the best day, but
Yeah, I thought I'd come along and say hello and
right.
learn more about this. So I'm not sure if there'll be more attendees or not.
So for anyone who's new to the meeting, please add your name as well, and then let's get started.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren, we want to record at least those 2 releases.
Sorry?
The release of the scorecard, we want to at least, even if we don't, somebody else comes in, looks at it, it'll be nice to know that we released the scorecard and the action. We need to capture that.
Yeah, that's true.
I see the number of tabs in yours and I'm like,
yes, I know, it's crazy. Okay, so I guess let's get started. I think we have one new guest today. Michael, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Michael Goddard. I work for Google. I'm the engine manager for deps.dev. So we're certainly a consumer of scorecards data and interested in learning more and getting more involved.
Yeah, welcome. I hope we can collaborate more definitely on what data we feed to you and how we present it to users, and maybe also improve the checks based on feedback that you get. I'm sure you get maybe more than we get. That would be very useful to feed that back in at some point.
Certainly, yes. I think that would be good. We do get email from people. Yeah.
Cool. Any question from for Michael? Anyone?
oh, what is like obviously I don't work for Google. So what is deps.dev? I don't know how at least deps.dev gets the data from scorecard, but do you have any specific plans of, can you share what you are thinking in the future?
Yeah, so I guess we do collect the scorecards data currently from the BigQuery, but also working on using the API. We certainly sort of collect that and present it for projects, improving the presentation there and channeling feedback, I think, as well as one of the areas that we want to improve. Because we have a contact us sort of link, and we do get, hey, my project's scorecard result has these things that I'd like to see better. So we try and pass that along. But certainly also interested in scorecard badges and for any of the particular checks, ways that we see that across the ecosystem. So.
be nice that if you integrate with the API, because the BigQuery and API, there's a delay. So obviously using the API would be a better option.
Yeah, there's work on that currently. So
Cool.
Okay, cool. So let's, anyone has any project updates?
I am working on the action for using the API to very similar to what came with the OSV. Like, hey, can you go down the rabbit hole and figure out what are the vulnerabilities? But here, this is something that one of the interns within Google were trying to do, figuring out, hey, if the dependency changes are, now tell me what's the score of that using Scorecard. But I'm not planning to use the existing action for that because it needs pull request access and causing all the problems. I'm trying to think of building another action within the Scorecard action, just so that if people want, they can use that. I will present this probably by next meeting. I'll probably have a working demo that I can present.
So what do you mean by all the problems with the pull request?
Remember, we disable Scorecard action pull request because it could have write tokens and people can have problems with that. And also, the second problem is if this check is part of the Scorecard action, or that action, that one single check, people run out of tokens because we do a bunch of things within Scorecard. When we run, people run out of tokens. So if you have it as another sub action, it's not going to do any of Scorecard things, but it's just going to take the dependency differences and go hit the API and get the score for them. And it should be more configurable. So essentially, I can say, hey, ignore this dependency because I know it's bad, but I do know that. Or I'm only interested in this area of score. I don't care about fuzzing. Just give me scores for these things. Something like that, so that right now we are flying blind, like customers are flying blind as to, hey, I'm bringing this new dependency. What happened? How is it score? Like this, I think would be helpful.
Yeah, let me answer to the pull request. So the one that I disabled last week Scorecard action on a pull request target. It still works on pull request.
Yes.
On the pull request, all the tokens will be empty.
Correct.
So you don't get that problem.
Correct. But the second point is, like, if we enable with pull request, because Scorecard uses tokens, there's a throttling of the tokens. The idea of this is they should not have to use any of those things, because we're just going to get the difference in dependencies and go hit the Scorecard API for just the score of what are the new dependencies that came in and what's the score on them. That's all it is. And at least my thought process is not to have any failure success, have that as a message in the pull request, so people get to decide, and later based on response we decide whether, that's my initial thought process, just to do a demonstration for this group, so that then we can get feedback as, hey, which way do we want to go, blah blah blah. That's what I'm working on.
Cool. Yeah, I personally would like if we could get it as part of the existing action, so that people get it when they install Scorecard.
I understand.
But I understand the configuration options. So I think Jeff has a work in progress document.
Yes.
Where we want to add some configuration options.
All right. So that's why I'm just throwing this out just as an initial to get some, hey, is this good or not? Then we can iterate, or we can make it alpha, we can iterate, we can figure out multiple ways to solve this. But my holidays are this.
Very cool. Anyone has any thoughts or feedback for Azim about this project? Like it's really cool, I think, to be able to expose to users what their dependencies do. And in fact, at Google, we do something similar, which Spencer enabled recently. So we're also exploring the same line of, using Scorecard on your dependencies. Any first thoughts for Naveen?
And especially with the OSV, it'll be amazing. It'll show everything. It'll be like, oh, you have all these major, your transitive dependencies have all these vulnerabilities, and somebody's not having all that. That's what I want to bring that highlight that up.
Yeah. So I think if you enable Scorecard today, the Scorecard action on a pull request, you will get those OSVs for free.
Yes, I know.
Inline as annotations on pull request. So I haven't tried it, but you could do that.
Oh,
Because
inline as an annotation to a pull request?
Yes, because Sarif integration just does this for free for us, so we don't have to handle it.
Ah, that is cool. That is cool.
Yeah, we haven't really advertised it. We haven't properly tested it, but you could try it with like a vulnerable dependency, enable Scorecard on a pull request, and you should see it. You should see it. GitHub should show it to you.
Cool.
All right. If there's no
Feeling-
further questions,
I'll just say
go
like
ahead.
convincing users that they should care about the score of their dependencies is like one of the critical things we can do to push adoption.
Yes.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I spoke to few users in the Linux Foundation Member Summit. They wanted raw data. Laurent, you're aware of that. They wanted raw data. They don't want scores. They don't want us calculating scores.
Hey, whoever's screen sharing is leaking proprietary information, just a friendly heads up.
Oh, was I sharing my entire screen? Okay.
You were just
I
giving
know.
you a friendly hands up.
Thank you. There was nothing. It's just about open source, so it was fine. But thank you.
So I was saying that raw data, people like raw data more than us giving scores. So that's something that people want.
So when you say raw data, do you mean the raw data that we have, in a separate folder, or do you mean like the results that we have today without scores, but with all the meaningful information extracted? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that question makes sense.
It does make sense. I don't know the answer, to be honest. Right, but they said, hey, we don't want you giving us scores. Like we ding somebody for -2 for here, -4 for here. We decide that, and they don't want that. And ideally, that means whatever we do plus or minus, it needs to be in two different buckets. What we come up with, and then they decide whether is this a plus or a minus.
Yeah. So I think we have a document that we want to share broadly. I think we'll do that in January, where we basically want to give more more information about criticality and things like this, so that people could maybe look at the critical alerts, like the medium alerts, and make this more easy to display. And I think that's something that devs.dev team also told us they would like to see, because score are too, like, it's hard to make sense out of scores. It's not always clear what they mean. So do you think that's something that would help? Maybe we need to share the document first, but it's basically a way to make the results that we have today more structured. So instead of just having details that are strings, we can add more information, such as the path, the criticality of the alert. Even within the same check, you can have different criticality for different results. Having a way to explain how to remediate very fast, depending on the exact alert that you received, things like this. And I don't know if that's sort of what they're asking, like to have more, basically
Probably,
more raw results.
yeah, more raw results that they can this is
Yeah.
this is somebody from a bank who specifically wanted to use this, but they said, hey, we wanted raw results so we can manipulate and make decisions for ourselves.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think that's the direction that we are taking, and we should definitely share that doc in 2000, like in January in the next meeting. I think I shared the doc with most of the people, including you, Navin, but we haven't yet shared it more broadly.
Yep.
The
So
OpenSSF meeting.
yeah. So I know, but that's something that'll be nice for people who wanted to use this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the reason why we also want to do this, because it's difficult to automate decisions or like for people to make sense of the data because of we just have strings today, right? In the details. Cool. So that's good news. At least that looks like we're going in the right direction. Jeff, I think it's you can take it away. Talk about criticality score.
Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to relay a concern. I haven't talked to Caleb yet, but essentially, I think they're getting some more contributors on that project, and they're mostly in like Australia time zone. So I don't know if like, yeah, like I know like Laurent, you've helped out on reviewing all-star PRs. Like, you know, for all the Go projects that we have here in OpenSSF, I feel like we can help out with reviewing PRs from other projects, even if we're not maintainers. So I was just thinking, you know, we have a lot of experts in this group. You know, do we want to have some kind of like reviewer pool or review sharing where we can help out reviewing PRs on other projects that maybe only have one person working on it? So just throwing that out there. Any thoughts there?
I think it makes sense. The only problem with this, unless you know what are the nuts or you have to know to an extent before you can point out basic stuff.
Yeah.
But the intricacies of why somebody made a decision, unless you have some in-depth knowledge, it becomes harder. My 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's mostly, I think it would still need a review from the maintainer.
Okay. Okay.
Right. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming out loud here with you. Because you're right. Like we wouldn't want things to just get merged with
Yeah, I wouldn't want somebody else to come to a scorecard and be like, okay, now this can
Yeah. But like just for code
yes
quality type review? I don't know. So I'll chat with Caleb because this was in our securing criticality scores part of the securing critical project working group, which happened this morning. So I'll chat with Caleb and see what he thinks too, and maybe we can have some kind of you know, sharing pool in the future. But just wanted to throw that out there to see if anybody's interested.
two totally different things. Brian, Russell, and I are presenting in the Cloud Security Con about Scorecard, and also, sorry, I'm going blank. In another European conference, I forgot what that is. Just going blank. That is. In the FOSDEM, sorry, in FOSDEM and in Cloud Security Con, we are going to be presenting about Scorecard.
Which dev room?
Security.
Okay.
Anyone else has something to share? Otherwise, yeah, I can just announce that we released earlier this week scorecard. I think it's 4.1.0, and we also released the GitHub action to mirror the changes that we released in the main scorecard repo. This will include all the the OSV scanner integration. So hopefully people will be able to see the results both in the cron job, in the action, on the CLI, and so on and so forth. If no one else has anything, I guess we can end. I think the next meeting is in, let me see, January. I think we would like to have someone to be the moderator. Is anyone interested?
I can take that. January, do you know what date it is?
I suppose it's like the 14th or something.
13th? 14th?
The 12th.
Okay,
Well, okay.
I can take that. One thing that we should probably plan for like Q1 release, or like whatever we are working on, we'll be having a release date. I spoke about this last meeting. Having a release date helps in figuring out what, like example, if what I'm going to demonstrate next week, it'll be nice if we decide, hey, it'll be nice if we pull in all these changes and do a one release. It'll be nice. We should probably talk about this in the next meeting.
Sounds good. So I guess we end early today. Thanks everyone for coming. Happy holidays. See
Happy
you
holidays. See ya.
next
Thank you.
year.
Happy New Year.